For those of us who do not know who are you and what do you do?
And you're asking me who I am. My name is Marrrty B, or Martin Benberg if you want to go with my government name. Marrrty B. And the other question was, what do I do? Man, I make music about falcons, about revolution, and mostly those two things. Um, you want me to elaborate a little bit more? I can. And to be honest with you, I wish I did a little bit more than make music, but I've spent I mean, last at least 2 years focused mostly on making music. It'd be nice to have a hobby, but when you do, they say that when you you what is the saying? They say that do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But under this economic system called capitalism, if you do what you love, you get punished by having to work every day.
Where are you from?
I'm from Fayetteville. Nobody's from here but me. I'm the only one left. I'm the last one. Now, it is rare to find somebody in Fayetteville who's from Fayetteville, but I'm here. I've been here. I've got roots here, so I don't see myself like living anywhere else per se. But I would love to take my music on the road again someday. Um, get the hell out of here. But like I said, I got roots here, so I'm not going anywhere except on vacation. Let's just hope that those vacations last last a good little while. Let's say I hope that I hope that they're visa length vacations, right?
Tell us about your childhood growing up in Fayetteville.
My childhood was pretty dope. Um, I grew up just down the street from Wilson Park, um, over by the university. Um, I say it. I say it was next to Wilson Park. It's really not. I just remember. I remember my brother carrying me all the way home when I broke my collarbone uh, at Wilson Park. Now, people will tell you that you can't remember things from this early, but my mom swears, and you know how moms always know how old you were when something happened. She swears I was 18 months old, so I remember this. Remember things a lot earlier than a lot of people, I guess. Man, I just remember. I wouldn't. I don't. I wouldn't say I remember growing up in Fayetteville as much as I remember just growing up and having a good time. I remember growing up like with lots of music around. Believe it or not, my parents loved Pixies, REM, all this early '90s stuff that is popular now. It doesn't sound as cool to be into it because everybody's into it, but my parents were pretty hip, and I got to listen to a lot of really good music.
When did you find that love for hip hop music in particular?
Oh, let's go. So I think that my first musical memory was my mom singing Beach Boys to me. And I think my second musical memory was MC Hammer. Now, don't tell me like I again, people will be like there's no way that you remember that. You must like, but I'm telling you, man, my memory from 1991 is like pretty good, dude. I remember the fall of the Soviet Union finally coming to Russia, and then I remember MC Hammer. Let's go, Hammer Pants, man. I was, I feel like I spent a lot of time doing what doing what my parents wanted me to do. And like they wanted me to make music, but they wanted me to make a certain kind of music. And they were really confused when I started making hip hop. I was like, I've loved this. Like, this is the genre that I've never gotten sick of, man. But I think, I think it's pretty telling that my first two musical memories would be of the Beach Boys and MC Hammer because I'm into big hooky choruses with stacked vocals and harmonies out the wazoo, and I'm into catchy rap music. It's MC Hammer, the Beach Boys, man. Yeah. So, answer to your question, or maybe this wasn't the question, but when did I get into hip hop? Day one. Day one. Yeah.
Tell us about when you decided to start creating music for yourself.
Hmm. Okay. So let's go back again to childhood. And my parents got me into piano lessons when I was, and again, I don't think that you can remember stuff when you're this old, but I remember my parents got me into piano lessons when I was 3 years old. That's what they tell me. And I like this question of like, when did I start making music for myself? Because it's not the same as when I started making music. Or, I don't know. I don't want to say I've been making music for other people um, the whole time because I've always had I've always had time outside of practice, outside of rehearsal to do my own thing ever since I was a little kid. Like I didn't just stick with um, what I was supposed to be practicing. In fact, I spent more time doing what I wanted to do. Um, but I would really say that I started making music for myself about a year and a half, maybe 2 years into the pandemic. I think uh, a lot of people who were in bands found it really difficult to logistically to do anything in the way that we had been doing them before. Um, and I think a lot of people, myself included, who were musicians already, who could play multiple instruments, got into production because we have all this time. Suddenly we start seeing prices drop where you can get a pair of like decent monitors in for your studio for $100. Stuff that like, I mean, Grammy winning records are being produced on this stuff, on this gear. So we benefit from all this solitude and low prices, and you get a lot of rap producers, a lot of new people on the scene, and I'm one of them. And I realized that this is like, yeah, this is the genre that I've never gotten sick of. I've never gotten sick since I first heard it in like 12th grade, maybe. The ticky hi hat and the snare on the three. Never got tired of the trap beat. Never. People are saying trap is dead, and I'm just like, what are you talking? Are you listen? Do you hear the radio? It's like it's not even just rap music that's got that beat anymore. It's like it's pop, it's country, it's all over the place. Um, yeah.
Tell us about the challenges that you've had to face in order to pursue this genre of music.
The main challenge in making this music, this genre of music, is uh not a lot of not a lot of venues want to book you when you play this kind of music. And you know what I hear a lot is I'll ask before people know that I make hip hop, I'll ask, so, do you ever have hip hop shows here? And they want to tell me that okay, it always sounds racist to me. They always say, "Well, last time we had a hip hop act here, they behaved really badly in this way or that way." I'm like, man, every single time, y'all. that doesn't sound racist like when I say it, but when they say it, it's like, are you sure they weren't just black? Because you sound like I know it when I hear it. So, um, the challenges that I've faced, not so bad in comparison to that. Um, I don't know, man. I just want to cast. I want to cast my lot with the people, and like you want to ask who are the people, and I say like, well, who are God's people? And God's people are the oppressed. You cast your lot with the oppressed, all of a sudden people kind of want to they want to treat you that way too. Um, I guess is the takeaway from that. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about the challenges that I've faced in hip hop. That's not my that's not my challenge. You know.
Explain to us, how did you develop this passion for the oppressed and people on Main Street? Um, you have such powerful songs like, Banks Are Out of Money. Um, I can sense a bit of activism in your lyrics and really the way you express yourself in your songs. Can you touch on that? Where did you get that passion from?
And I don't know where it came from, but I feel like it's necessary. That's that's I don't know what else to say there. I don't know if you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. And honestly, I don't want to say I don't want to say that it comes from my religion, but at the same time, my religion says you whip the bankers out of the temple. You see you see you see capitalists in God's house and you not only you don't just whip them, you whip them in front of everybody so everybody can see what happens and how shameful it is. And if they want to crucify you for that, then go ahead and get crucified. But let's then, yeah, I guess it's just my religion that tells me that. My religion tells me that it's not just sharing is caring, but sometimes you gotta love like Martin and fight like Malcolm.
Some musicians locally have so many challenges with pursuing a music career. They're not getting paid enough. And that tends to make musicians doubt that they can even do this full time, making money off of it, making their music being their main source of income. What advice would you give to those musicians?
Don't give up in in any context. I would say to musicians, keep going, don't give up. Even if they're no good, I'll tell them keep going because if you make it to my age and you're still making music, I mean, I don't know what I don't know what could be better. Just don't give up. Um, and um, some other advice: be really lucky. Um, um, invest in real estate if you can. I'm blessed with a home. If I didn't have a home, um, then I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff. I wouldn't have a home studio if I didn't have a home. This is a thing that a lot of people overlook. Is is that housing and the arts are just really very much really very intertwined. Um, if we don't have housing, we don't have the arts. That being said, another really good piece of advice is to unionize. If we can unionize as workers in any field, we can make our own lives better. And with every every bit of progress that I make as a worker, that's progress for every worker. So Another thing to keep in mind, I'd say, on that note is just because somebody else is gaining something doesn't mean that something's being taken away from you. A gain for one worker or set of workers or musicians is a gain for all of us. And and if it's not, then you got to ask yourself why. If we're not lifting each other up, then what are we doing here? If we're not building community, what are we doing here? Say, above all else, build community wherever you can.
Where do you see your life going from today on forward? I mean, what do you see like when you look at your future, when you think about your future, where do you see yourself? Are you still doing music? Are you the best, greatest rapper alive?
Well, I'm not the greatest rapper alive, but I might damn well be the best singer of among rappers. Um, if I'm not today, then I would like to be someday. Um, best rapper alive. Killing me. No way, dude. If I have seen further, it is because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. Um, I mean, let's say 2 3 years, I'd like to really need my accountant. I want to be, honestly, I want to be where I am right now, but doing this all over the world. Uh, I would like to travel. I would like to, I would like to see revolution in my lifetime. Um, Honestly, my goal is nothing short of global revolution. uh, I I want to I want to be at the vanguard of revolution is my answer. I want to see all boats lifted, right? I want to see I want to see some revolutionary shit, man. And if I can be a part of that, well, if it happens, I'm gonna be a part of it. Yeah, yeah.
Besides music, what do you want your legacy to be?
I would like my tombstone to read, and I would like it to be appropriate for it to read. An inspiration to all who knew him. I think that'd be a good one to live up to.
The rap group that you have with Ray Porter.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know your take on what each of you bring to the group. Like, how do you two enhance the group?
Okay, can I stop you? I should have told you we broke up yesterday. So actually we don't have to stop. But I'll tell you what Ray brought to the songs. And Ray brought incredible writing, and he brought a perspective as a person with cerebral palsy that no one else can bring you in rap music. And I'm gonna miss making music with him, but yeah.
If people want to get in contact with you, how would they?
Best way to contact me is probably on Twitter, and you can find me on Twitter at MarrrtyB. That's Marrrty B with 3 R's.